Thank you, Council. Mayor. My name is Paul Mosina. I live in Ashland, and I'm presenting the complaint that I sent you on July 6th via email, and the complaint is regarding the way the Council handled the June 3rd vote for the 2025-2027 Biennial Budget. On June 3rd, you voted on a budget that was different than the one approved by the Citizens Budget Committee. They had designated a certain funding for the Child Care Grant Program. And on June 3rd, you voted on a version of the budget that had a different funding source for that Child Care Grant Program. And I was shocked that day when the Deputy City Manager, Jordan Rucklin, when she introduced the budget item, she claimed that the decision to change sources for the Child Care Grant funds had been, quote, supported by Council via motion. This is a serious matter. The Deputy City Attorney said that you supported the amendment of the 2025 budget via motion by the Council. On June 16th, you approved the minutes for the June 3rd meeting, and you put that on the record. And I sent you the email on June 6th with my complaint documenting that you all never had that vote. Councilor, I know we shouldn't address Councilor specifically. Do any of you remember the motion to amend the Citizens Budget Committee recommended budget? Do you remember who seconded it? Do you remember who voted on it? Yet, your city administrator said that a decision to change that budget funding had been made by a motion of the Council. And you all knew that wasn't true. You probably remember the votes you've taken on a motion 2 years ago, and who voted and who made the motion. You live and breathe this stuff, and you do a great job. But I have a problem with the way you handle this. You never had the motion, and yet you put on the record, in the public record, you were all here, and not one of you dared to stand up and say, Councilor Sherrill did not vote. Not one of you dared to stand up and say, the city administrator didn't stand up and say, nobody said, well, by the way, we never did have a motion. We just talked about it. And I'm optimistic about Ashland. I love Ashland. But when I see this kind of behavior, I'll say it, just lying to us, bald-faced, putting it on the record. I sent you all this information, and not one of you responded. And I'm disappointed, but I know it doesn't mean much, but I am really disappointed that none of you had the courage to stand up and say something about the fact that you didn't vote on that motion. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.